good. Hanging in there. Better than nothing.
How you feeling, Frankie?
So I still have a lot of side effects from that radiation.
Yeah.
I don't know where to start.
Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. Recording and taping notification, as required by the town, may audio or video record this meeting. Any person intending to either audio or video record this open session is required to inform the chair. There's nobody in the audience, so I don't think that's happening. Cape Cod Senior Softball is not here yet, and the potential food vendor has withdrawn their request. So we're gonna move down to CPC 5-year you know what? Let's if no one minds, I'm gonna bounce around. Minutes from February 25th. I didn't see those in the packet. Did anybody else?
No.
And I
They were, really?
and then I looked in last month's packet.
They weren't in there yet?
I didn't see them. So we'll put that on next meeting.
Tabled. All right. That's fine.
Okay. Director's report, Eric. Let's go right to that, I guess.
Yep. 1 second. All right. Let me see if I have any updates. The new CPC requests were all approved by CPC for this year, so that was good news. One of the things I wanted to bring up, the additional option for pickle court buffer, that area we have been talking about with turf we looked at. John researched paving stones, and we got a quote on that, which is just under $6,000.
From who?
From Stonewood, yeah.
But that's only, is that labor too? Stonewood, I don't think Stonewood
No.
did installation.
No, I believe this is just the supplies. So there's that. There's the the AstroTurf, I believe, was around 5 as well. So those are the options we've been looking at.
Okay.
Red River Beach Mobile Food Vendor, the Red River Barbecue backed out of their last year of their contract. They were under a 3-year contract. They said because of a lot of private bookings they're going to have this summer, they're not going to have time to commit to the beach. So I'm just proofreading the RFP, changing the dates, and we're going to put it back out to bid probably tomorrow. I left that up to administration,
Never.
and Megan gave them a release letter without penalty. That's up to them at that point, but
Never has been, David.
we will rebid. Yeah.
I don't ever remember anybody backing out of a contract.
Oh, it happens every contract.
Buka Bob did.
Everybody
Bob
has.
Chappelle, yeah.
I don't remember that. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately. No, I don't think anybody's made it to 3 years.
Not yet. I don't know if they expect something, but we're gonna put it out to bid and see what we get. The AEDs we're about ready to order. We got the 3rd quote in. So we're gonna get the order in. A contract is being sent to Boundtree Medical. They were the low quote for 15 units, carrying cases, replacement supplies, and it comes with, I believe, an 8-year warranty.
Did you get those through the fire department?
Well,
With assistance from them?
They referred us. There is no state bid on those, but they assisted us on exactly which one to get. And then we had to get the 3 quotes on it. So we were hoping it'd be Boundtree because we do have a contract. We have an account with them. That is all my updates, and then whatever questions you guys have.
I'm gonna go around it.
I have a quick question for the summer staff.
Yep.
I hear a lot of the high school chit chat. We are, and I know this is not really you, more so the board. We are currently $2 under
Yep.
Chatham. Do you think
In
that
which
for lifeguards?
Yep.
Do you think that's kind of what's slowing it down for us this year?
Well, I think it's slowed down for everybody. Chatham,
so, yeah.
Chatham, even being $2 higher than us last year, shut down beaches when we didn't.
Okay, so yeah.
But this year, first we inquired about an enhancement of services request to
No,
bump
I
them
remember.
up.
Yeah.
That's a no.
Okay.
So then we went to them. Me and John kind of sat down. We crunched numbers. But the administrator and selectman. We crunched numbers. We figured out a way to get them that step increase without asking for more money within the budget we currently have. The answer was nothing can be done until the union contracts are set because it's a seasonal pay scale. So
Union driven?
it's union driven. So there is going to be a 2% raise
Nice.
on July 1,
Yep.
along with everybody else. And if that contract gets set during the summer, there is a chance that we could get the bump up midsummer.
That's good.
So we're working on it.
Yeah.
But
No, I just know because for the director,
Yep.
the camp, like all those, I would assume that would be a quickly filled position.
Yep.
So I'm wondering if it's just a competition piece.
Well, yeah, and there's good news, like on the camp director front.
Yeah.
John found somebody that he actually interviewed today. He's coming in for a second interview next week. An older man, not older, 50-ish, right? Who has experience. He seems really good. So I think we may have a lead on a camp director
Okay.
who will be good supervisory role. We wanted somebody a little older, not somebody necessarily in college telling their college buddies what to do.
Right,
Kind of gets
yeah.
a little messy. So.
Obviously, like some sort of kid background.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah.
And then, and I, this is again, I hear the summer staff talk. As far as the lifeguard training goes, Harwich charges. Other towns are not charging. Is that something that like can be looked at for the future?
We're actually talking about it'll be a deposit that they put down, and then they will receive it at the end of their employment term.
Oh, see, that's
So
that's
you're going to get your
awesome.
refund at the end.
But
Okay.
regardless of whether it's 1 year, 2, so if they
Correct.
do
1 year, if you serve the
stay
full
for a
season,
season.
that is
That's
how we
okay.
avoid someone saying, "I'm gonna be a lifeguard for you here in Harwich," and then they take off and go to some other town.
Yeah.
And then, or yes, I can work through mid-August, and then
See, that would be a great
2 days
piece
a week,
to
or-
advertise because I know that's kind of what the chit chat is just like who's paying more, who do I not have to pay, who do I, things like that. I mean, you guys know I have a lifeguard, but not her.
Yeah.
She's here. She's stuck here. But other, talking to
sure.
other kids saying,
No, I
you guys
totally
should do
get
it.
it.
You should do it. They're saying, well, my dad said that this place is paying more and this
money.
place, and so for a kid,
Yep.
$2
No, I totally
more an
get it.
hour is a lot. You know what I mean? When they're saving up for cars and
And
this
that was
and
part of our
so,
argument with the enhancement of service requests. is
No,
that
of
we're at
course.
the bottom of the,
yeah.
or at least near the bottom.
Yeah, no, I love the refund idea though. I think
Yeah.
that's a great piece to advertise too.
Yeah, we can put that
And
out
it's a
there.
really good incentive to keep them on for
Right.
the season.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
most lifeguards, I think, stay on the whole season, right?
Yeah, and it's not so much that, but we were afraid they would take the class.
and then go somewhere else or
Right,
then
right,
go
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, exactly. That's great.
So,
I love
yeah.
that idea.
But even if somebody said, if they took the class and they said to us ahead of time, well, I can only work, half the summer, that still counts.
Right,
Like,
yeah,
you're still
exactly.
fulfilling your commitment that
Yeah.
you told us.
Oh no, that's
And
that's
then-
great.
Just I can add to the advertised pay rates. Obviously, we would like to be advertising what we could get with the grade increase. It's
But-
obviously we have to wait till the union contracts and town
Right.
meeting gets approval, which
yeah,
just
of course.
isn't. It doesn't. It's not ideal for us because that's not going to happen until May. And of course, most
course.
people have made their summer employment decisions by now. Like
You
they're.
be-
Well, I know there's some stragglers,
Teenagers
but
are funny.
Yeah, my son is still looking.
Yeah, they'll
right. Well,
they'll
as far
wait.
as the
they're
college.
holding out for management.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, as far as the more
100 grand.
experienced college kids go, I would know
Right.
that they're about locked. All of the, not all, but most of the higher end candidates would be filled by now.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So no, I think that's a really great place to jump off and start.
Yeah, we've got some job fairs we're attending.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Perfect.
leave no stone unturned as far as
Perfect.
recruiting lifeguards.
That's perfect. Yeah, gate guards, lifeguard, all of it. The
And that's
camp.
really the main
Yeah.
thing we need right now. Because it
It's-
looks like we're hopefully going to be good on camp directors,
Yep.
camp counselors,
the counselors
gate
numbers
guards,
look good.
all that
Good.
stuff. It's just the lifeguards.
And then as far as campers, that looks like those numbers look good again
Oh yeah,
this year.
it's filled up.
Okay, perfect.
Yep.
Okay,
right up.
that is all I have for summer.
Phyllis?
No, I'm good.
Ben?
I'm good.
David?
I have a question about AED devices.
Yep.
Now, these are the defibrillators.
Yes.
Last weekend, I was over the pickleball courts. I was looking for the banner.
Yep.
And I asked anybody that was there if they had a key to the pickleball
Yeah.
building. And one lady did. And I want to say she was a retired captain of the fleet for going to Nantucket back of Highline.
Okay.
I might have got that wrong, but she opened the building up, went through it, and then she looked at me, she said to me, what are we doing with these defibrillators? I said, I don't understand what you mean.
Yeah.
And she said, well, unless someone's here with a combination to open the gate, the defibrillators are locked up.
Well, and we
And then
can't.
she said to me, she said, the town's responsible for that. And I said, I can't answer that
Responsible
question.
for what?
Liability.
No.
So I said, you need to talk to the director of the recreation department.
Yeah.
So,
If there's open play, if it's just people down at the courts and somebody has an issue and the defibrillator's locked up, that's not liability on us. That's like somebody having a heart attack and playing baseball on the field. That's there when they have the pickleball program. During those hours, the shed is opened up.
Right.
So they have access to it.
okay, so,
Because that would be 24/7
Yeah, you'd have to have it somewhere.
if that were the case.
Yeah.
I believe that AED is the Harwich Pickleball Association's.
Yeah, yeah.
That we don't
so
I
that
don't
doesn't
think,
belong
we
to
don't
the
even
town.
own it.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
So
at
it's
least
for
you know
that
it's coming.
program. Yeah.
I'm all set.
Brian?
The only thing I had for the summer staff, like pay plan, I know we have to wait for town meeting. Could we do, like, increase this year with an escalation next year? It's like kind of plan in advance.
Like
We're
an
not always trying to
incentive?
play catch up.
But you mean,
So like right now, we're at the bottom
yep,
and we're just trying to get to the middle.
yep,
But then the next year, who's to say everyone else does an increase and we're at the bottom again?
yeah.
So could we plan like 2 years in advance, like, all right, we want to get to here this year and then next year a tiny bump, just to kind of stay ahead
Well,
of the
that's
curve there?
the hope. To do that, we would have to get back into the enhancement of service requests,
Okay.
you know,
Fall into that.
which is looking pretty bleak.
No,
these
it's,
days.
it's,
no to
they said
everything.
last
Yeah.
night. They
But
were
it may be the
zero.
worst next year. Like, I don't see it in the foreseeable
Let me
future.
clarify something. Are we at the bottom now?
Of lifeguards?
Yes.
Are we
Yes.
at the very bottom? I believe so, yeah.
When did we do, sorry, Brian, but I'm trying to
Go
get you
ahead.
some history because when did we do that big increase to get to the middle? When was, it seems like last year, but it was
No.
No.
probably all of 5 years ago.
Probably 5
Yeah,
years
at least a
ago.
long
I'd have to
time
check,
ago.
but I think it was at least 5 years.
So
Yeah.
we did a big increase based on TA's recommendation, I
Yep.
think, right? To get to the middle.
That
To
was-
Brian's point, we haven't done a thing since, so
That
now
was
we're
Chris
at the.
Clark, to put it in perspective.
Whoa.
Yeah,
All right,
so.
that's a good,
Yeah.
One added point would be, like Eric, we've looked at, the grade increases aren't as incremental. Like if we went from you'd be able to do that for steps within a current pay grade. But if we forecasted out, it kind of gets drastic, like you would go from maybe 20 to 22 to now 25, 27,
Sure.
which would be maybe a little bit too much. Like we'd like to have like a 23, 24,
Yeah.
but
yeah.
that's just not the way the pay grades
Okay.
fall out.
And one thing we did talk about doing that is a little bit of a help, it's something, is that anybody new this year, we want to start at step 3. Anybody returning, whether it's your second year back or your 10th year back, you're at the top step. So you're either at step 3 or step 5.
Are you talking salary and wages or revolving fund?
Seasonal salary and wages.
that doesn't come out of revolving.
No.
So we have absolutely no control over that whatsoever.
We have no control over
No,
it, period.
but we
But
could,
revolving fund we do.
yeah.
We can bump up those.
Yeah,
Numbers.
that's, well, you still have to, they still fall on a pay scale though. A set pay
I
scale.
thought it was a separate salary and wages for the town was separate than revolving fund.
The money comes out of
Someone
the,
had-
Yeah, the money comes from different places, but the actual job descriptions and job titles are still on a scale that is set by select board. Yeah.
So
no matter
revolving
where-
fund
yeah,
is still
no matter
paid
where the money
union
comes.
scale?
What's
Not
that?
union scale, but are they paid union scale? Revolving fund?
It's set by that, yeah.
Eric,
Like an activities coordinator.
That's
would his
interesting.
concept be part of the collective bargaining agreement that they'd have to go back and negotiate the 2-year step increase?
For some help.
Yeah. Is that a union?
what he's saying
That-
right
That's,
now.
yeah, that's a
Yeah.
union.
I've never
thing.
heard of
Yeah, union. So that his concept, his thoughts
Yeah.
would have to go through the collective bargaining
Yeah,
agreement.
it would.
So
Yeah,
that's something they would have to put on the board.
because you'd be regrading the position.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But, correct me if I'm wrong, when we did the big step for lifeguards, that didn't go through union, did it?
No.
No, selectmen passed it, but that's what we were told. The assistant town administrator wrote me back and said, we can't do anything until we figure out the union contracts. But she said she'd keep it in mind when she's in those negotiations.
I'm surprised to
it
hear
doesn't
that
make any
the
sense.
lifeguards
Doesn't
are
make
under
any
the
sense.
union, because they're
Well,
seasonal.
Someone's wrong.
Yeah.
That's,
Can you get a clarification on that, please?
Yeah.
Because it just doesn't, and David's right, I don't recall this ever going this route for lifeguards, any of those people in the past. Now, maybe, I'm not a fan of, it's always been done this way, but it's always been done this way.
yeah,
But in the meantime, we're gonna try to, start everybody at step 3 or 5. So it's a little more,
right.
Okay.
Do those increase by like a percentage each year? Like the same steps, so say you're on step 3,
Yeah.
does that go up?
So
to, say,
typically it's like a
2%?
2%, every
Okay,
year,
sure it does.
But that's just the regular
It's
step,
already, it's already built into the contract.
Yeah.
So worst case scenario, no enhancements this year, or increase next year. Somebody who, say they've been here 4 or 5 years, whatever,
Yeah.
and they're the highest step this year.
Yep.
Next year they come back highest step, making the same amount.
Plus the 2%.
Plus the 2%.
Yeah. Which is nominal, but
Yeah, I'm just wondering.
there's only 5 steps.
That's gonna keep us lower than the lowest, I feel like.
Yeah.
So we had to really hope.
Do we normally
something.
have a lifeguard or some of those staff members stay for 5 years?
Yep, we have a good amount of
So
returnees.
that they would be on the top step.
Yeah.
Those folks
Yep.
that are with us would be on your
Yep.
top step. Can we build another step into that to
I
give
think
them the
that's,
top?
and I was just gonna bring that up, I think that would be even more
Next 5 steps.
difficult to add more steps
Than to just do an increase
than
in
to
pay.
just do
For
a
example, with the
regrade.
teachers, they go 10 or 11 steps
Yeah,
to get
because
to the top.
in that pay scale, of all the different positions on that seasonal pay scale,
Mm-hmm.
there's 5 steps on all of them.
Okay.
So if you raised the lifeguard one to 10 steps, then they'd probably have to raise all of them
All
to
of
10
them,
steps.
right, to equate, yeah.
So it'd be easier to regrade than to add on.
Yep.
Can you give us a breakdown at the next meeting of what we're paying versus what other towns are paying?
Yeah, we
I know we've done
Oh,
that
yeah,
in the past.
Yeah, we have that.
I
You could just,
we could email it out to you guys.
Yeah.
that's
that would
fine,
be
I'd just
great.
like to see it.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah, we did all that when we were trying to get the,
See, the problem has been,
Good job.
the problem is now, we've never had an issue. So it's kind of complacent, we've never had an issue filling lifeguards because we've always been right there. People wanted to come here, we had the training. Now you've got competition doing the training via free up front, and they're getting more money. So, I mean, a college kid, $2 an hour and not having to put up the 300, which most of their parents are doing it, I'm sure, but still.
and we were a victim of our own success too, because
We took too much for granted.
last year and the year before, we were one of the only towns that had all our beaches staffed.
Right.
So people said, well, you don't really need more money if you continue to get it back
Complacent.
and get it back,
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Frank, do you have anything on the director's report?
Anything on tennis instructors?
I met with USTA on Thursday as a potential outsource, as well as our waterfront director has also inquired with me about teaching some lessons in addition to her swimming lesson duties, which we can actually fit within a 40-hour work week. So yes, we're good on tennis instructors for the summer.
Oh, good.
Good job.
Okay, thank you.
What happened to the tennis screens?
the Monomoy ones,
They blew away.
they blew down. We asked them to figure out a better way to put them up so they're more secure. So I'm
Did
not-
DPW remove them, or I actually
I
know
don't-
the guy that put them up. He's one of the assistant coaches, I believe, at the high school. But I know him through someone that has worked for us.
maybe DPW.
I would actually think, yeah, they were put up without letting us know, which is what I let him know. Is like, if you're gonna, thank you for buying them, but please let us know so we can relay
Thank you
that
for saying that, because that was my biggest,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
we used to at least be notified or asked.
Correct. Yes. Please notify us next time if we want to do something like that.
Sure.
But I'm not sure what happened to him since.
It looks like they didn't clip them on the bottom, because when I went by that Monday morning,
Yeah.
there were no broken zip ties. It looks like they just did the 10 things across the top, and they didn't do, because they were up in the air.
Right.
I mean, it's not a bad idea, and they're paying, but we need to know.
It's been very
John,
windy.
can I-
Any, hold on, Frank, oh, who asked that question? You,
I'm also,
Dave, Vin?
Just a simple question. The gate guards. Over at, for example, when I drive over to Fontaine once in a while, I see the gate guards at Long Pond.
Yep.
They're sitting on the ground pretty much with their chairs. And the cars are coming by, and I think that it could be a little dangerous if they're not, raised a little higher.
Yeah, we've talked about getting some chairs that are, sit them up a little higher.
Yeah, you have to have them visible, otherwise somebody's gonna get hurt.
I thought we made a motion a long time ago that the policy was they would be here,
Yeah.
so they could see eye level when a car comes in.
Yeah.
Is it a money thing to get the chairs?
Well, we buy them ourselves,
Yeah.
I don't think it's a money thing.
Okay.
Well, I've seen all the other towns, and kind of like the lifeguard pay, we're a little behind on our setup. I know a lot of the other towns won't even have just one person there, like they mandate having two. But yeah, our setup as a whole, like I've explored trying to get like the stand we have at Red River.
Right.
I would like to have one of those at all of the
Well,
of the beaches.
Maybe not that high, but again, something like a,
But yeah, some sort of
Some-
structure,
yeah,
something
so
a
with-
little more
so with
official
a
than
covering
a
over it.
lawn chair
On the ground.
on the ground, right?
Where did I just see one?
I will say there was one gate guard last year that had a high chair.
Yeah.
I
Well,
just
Bought
saw
it.
one of those shacks. Was it
The only
in
gate
East
guard responded
Ham?
to emergency too.
Oh, it was
There
at
we
the
go.
entrance to Coast Guard Beach. Now, this was a structure.
Nowhere.
Yeah,
It was,
yeah.
it was a
Yeah, yeah,
quasi
yeah.
shed.
Yeah.
Well, that's the
You don't
problem
need.
too. When you have the structures, a lot of the beaches that have the structures, there's room for a lane in and a lane out around them, which we don't really have except for Red River. That's why we.
Chairs are a good start.
if you had a structure at that area, you could put it in the middle of the road.
Long Pond, you could.
Yeah, Long Pond, and so you can do the in and out, they could be in the middle of the road.
Like 2 lanes. Yeah.
Long Pond, but then like some of the other ones,
Like Pleasant, it wouldn't
Pleasant,
work.
no,
Burley,
you
you can't
couldn't.
do that.
Bank Street, it wouldn't work.
No, yeah, those little narrow
Well,
ones.
Bank
Go with
Street,
the
we
chair,
don't
let's
need
go
that.
with the chairs for
Earl
now.
Road.
Get them up so they can have a conversation with.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right though, because when I go in to do
Thank
my
you,
checks
John.
in my truck,
nice
sometimes
tall-
I'm looking down.
Right, yeah.
All right, budget,
John,
nope,
one more
yep,
thing.
nope, you're out, you're done. Go ahead, Frank.
Can we get a price on the installation of those pavers? I got a feeling the labor is more than the price of the
I do
pavers,
too.
but-
And I'm not sure, I walked that last week. I don't know why it needs to be done the whole, how many feet is it, Eric?
It's a lot. I
100.
forget.
180,
120,
120,
something
Yeah,
like
that's the length of the courts, 120, probably a few
Yep.
feet more.
a couple extra feet. Yeah, I can't imagine what that's gonna,
Yeah, I got a feeling the labor is high.
yeah.
okay.
Maintenance.
Budget, oh yeah, property maintenance, sorry.
I have nothing really to update. I don't think. The solar options. I started looking into that for the restroom at Senior Memorial down there. So I did hear back. So I've written or called a bunch of different companies. I've heard back from one so far. He says they don't do that kind of thing. What you need is a self-contained solar. Hold on, I wrote it down. An off-grid solar package, which would have battery banks. He said they don't do that at the company that I talked to, which was My Generation Energy out of Hyannis. But I'm waiting on calls back from Sun Gold Power and E2 Solar Cape Cod, as well as some others, about options if they do the off-the-grid solar packages.
Do we still have what was the committee? Energy,
Oh, the
Town
the
committee.
compact, the-
no, not Cape Light Compact, that's another option, I would call
Yeah,
them. And
okay.
I have business cards on my desk if you need numbers. But who was it that used to be, oh, memory's a wonderful thing. It's a-
carried the green, the town green.
Yeah, but they started back when you were just replacing light bulbs and then they got into the,
Cape Safe?
no, it's a town committee, just like we are.
They put all the electric units in town.
The chargers and, if you could check with, the town TA's office.
Yeah.
They may be a resource to get a name.
I know Mass Save has a business space too, a business area too, so they don't just do residential, but commercial as well.
and
I forget what the name of it. If
I
you
have-
look online on the town website,
Yeah.
they may have disbanded it, cause I haven't heard of it in a while.
Yeah, Okay,
because there's a list
I'll
on the top.
find, yeah, all the different
I think it
committees.
was energy, I don't know what it was, something like that.
And I have high hopes for the Sun Gold Power, because that's the one that Sean had referred to.
Oh.
And on their website, I'm waiting for them to get back to me, but on their website, it looks like you can buy packages.
Oh, nice.
But I just don't know which there's like 15 different packages, so I don't know which package, if they install it, all the details.
John,
That's what I'm waiting on.
Yes, Van?
have we again taken a look at an option to hooking up to the pump station out there? And rather than going all the way up the road, coming across.
I
behind-
did
You know,
mention that to Sean in a email, and he didn't, let me check with him again on that.
I mean, you got
He never got back to
electricity
me on
right
that
there,
question.
you got a lot of electricity right in that shed.
Electric from pump station.
And to see if we could trench that thing right over to where we need where we need the electricity.
And, one
Just
other
run the
question.
wires in the trees like they're doing.
Are we 100% sure that the health department requires hot water? Because
It's not the health department, I believe it's state code.
it is, for sure?
That's what I was told.
Okay.
By Sean,
Oh, okay, all right.
yeah.
Okay.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Just trying to find ways around.
I know.
One thing about the solar panels, if they go on that building down there, or if they go on any of the buildings that are off the grid here, the area that
Yep.
you visually see, I'm worried about damage and stealing them. I know
Well,
the state has lost a bunch of them up on Route 6.
vandalism is always a risk.
We can't, I don't think we can decide to do or not to do based on what ifs. If we lose it, then we have to go
That's a
back to the.
significant amount of money.
I don't disagree, but I don't know, that's my opinion. That doesn't mean it's right.
He needs to know.
While we're on that bathroom, I guess I was gonna do it under out of chairman's report.
That was all I had to.
Did you get any, what's the story on the estimates for the septic installation?
Estimates on, we haven't put it out to bid yet.
I talked to you a month ago, you were gonna talk to Megan about getting the estimates, so we would know if the septic's 10, then we're ahead of the game.
Okay, I didn't.
If it was 30, then we're behind we're not behind, but it's more of the budget.
So just
What's the downside to sending it out for 3 estimates? Sean was blown away that we paid for those design plans, and they didn't put an estimate in there.
I could ask them if they have an estimate.
You could ask them, and it doesn't cost a red nickel to get an estimate.
Just ask for like 3 quotes like we would.
3 quotes like we've done on every other bathroom. And I don't understand why they would say no to it, but, you know what I'm saying? Because that way we know. Because what do we have in that budget?
We have 170.
Okay, so if a septic is 30, now we're down to 140. If a septic is 10,
Yeah.
gives us more wiggle room on the electricity.
So, okay, I'll get quotes. I'll start
And
with
if
the
you
company that
need-
did the design.
Yeah, because he said usually they do a project estimate when they do it. I don't see that when I get for residential, like
Yeah.
Moran does a plan for me, they don't typically.
They don't give you an
They
estimate.
don't typically. And if you need names on companies, we can,
Okay.
I can help
Yep.
with that. Anything else on the maintenance oh, Phyllis, you had something.
The courts, some of the posts, the new courts, the posts are raising up.
May I pass that around?
Is that,
That's not good
Yeah.
less than
Oh.
a year in.
That's, so those are the new courts?
Yep.
So I talked to Harry, the guy that's gonna be coming in to do the resurfacing on
Yeah.
the other floor. And I told him we had some cracks and issues on the new
Okay.
courts. He said he's gonna look at everything when
I
he
saw
comes
it.
in and fix
Okay.
anything that they stand
Okay.
by their work. kind of
Okay.
thing. So,
But this isn't the paint, this is the pavement.
yeah,
That's-
can you send that to me?
Yep, I
I'll
have a
send
few
it
of
to
them, I have a
them.
few different posts.
I think that
So-
should go to highway or whoever, there's gotta be a warranty on that. That
Well,
should
that's
be,
what, yeah, that's what Harry was saying, that they fix whatever needs to be fixed.
Harry is the ceiling, hold on,
Seal
Frank.
coat, East Coast seal coating, yep.
But that, in my opinion, is not a seal coat problem, it's a construction.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Well,
looks
he
like
could
the
let us
actual
know,
ground,
yeah,
not just
yeah.
a
You know,
crack in the.
should they be going back to Lynch?
Yep,
Lynch, right?
all right. Yeah,
What
send me
posts
that
are-
picture.
I'm sorry, Frank, go ahead.
Don't let the paint get
What
lost
posts
in
are rising
the-
up? Are those the net posts?
The what?
It's like
Oh, the
the,
no.
Hold on, whoa, 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 stop, please. We've got 5 people talking. What was that, Frank?
Are those the posts for the nets?
No,
Rising?
those are
Right.
not the posts for the nets.
What-
Those are the chain link fence posts.
Oh, the fence
Oh,
posts, okay.
Yeah, it's still Lynch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Guess
not the
is
nets.
The warranty is long gone and hard to find, but it's worth having Megan or whoever is in charge of that procurement.
Yeah, as far as the painting goes, you have down here April's start date. Is that for the blue, the unfinished courts?
the
And-
ones that weren't, yeah,
Yeah,
yep,
Yes.
that's for them.
and the repainting of the other courts,
The
the bubbles.
Yeah, they're gonna fix all that
There's
stuff.
significant
Yep.
bubbles on those squads.
Okay, so Phyllis, anything else besides the
No,
fence
no,
posts?
but I'll
just
send these,
wanted-
I'll send these to
Yeah,
Eric.
please do.
Just a quick update to the members. The fencing, I just took a drive down before I came here. The fencing down at Memorial is pretty much done. You got one more gate to put up. And it looks terrific with the black
It
metal
does.
and the yellow cap on top.
I didn't see the
Yeah,
cap.
the caps are all in, and I would suspect they'll be finished by tomorrow, don't you, Eric?
It's just one more gate.
Yeah, one more gate to do it. It looks, they did a good job.
Yeah.
They did a very nice job. I talked with the foreman down there, and he gave us a price of $32.60 for the netting, and what that entails. I asked if he would give us a donation. They don't give seniors donations, they only give kids donations. But in any event,
It was still.
the reason why they were able to keep that price down, they sharpened the pencil for us, is because instead of putting up new posts above the 5-foot fence, they would use some used piping. And then I suspect that $32.60 is for their labor to put the netting up. I don't know where you wanna go with that.
Yeah, and that's
We're
the
not going
netting,
anywhere because it's not on the agenda.
what's that?
We're not going anywhere with that tonight because
Oh,
it's not
okay.
on the agenda.
Yeah. So we'll need we would need a vote on. what-
We need a request. We don't have a request from senior softball. I thought that's what they were
An
coming in
actual
tonight.
request, yeah. Well, they were supposed to come in tonight and talk about all the projects that you remember we talked about that? Yeah.
Did you know they weren't making it, man?
No.
No idea.
Last
That's
I talked
not,
to him,
I
they were
thought
coming.
Gary was coming too. I'm surprised.
Mike Barry and Jim Gunning were
Yeah.
scheduled.
Anything else, Van?
No, I'm
And the
good.
fence does look great. I walked around there last week. David?
All set.
Brian? Frank?
Offset.
Okay. Moving on to budget report. Thank you for bringing that picture, Phyllis. Very helpful.
Our revolving fund is currently sitting at a very healthy $91,608. So we're taking in all the summer stuff now. It will be spent down. It kind of peaks right around before summer and then goes down again during summer. So we're right on the right curve as we normally are.
That has to be expended prior to June 30th, correct?
No, there's
This
no.
is your revolving?
This is revolving, yeah, because we switched,
sorry.
yeah, when we used to be a different 53D, right, it would get wiped down to 10
But
grand.
your budget has to be cleaned up by the 30th, correct? You're right.
Yes, yeah, budget resets on July 1st. yeah.
Or as Elaine likes us to know, please, we got 2 weeks before that, make sure she has time to process all the
Yeah,
invoices.
get all the bills
We
in.
really
Yeah,
got it
get
2
all
more
the
weeks
bills in.
You
earlier.
don't want to
Well,
encumber anything, right?
No.
I remember Lee being that end of
the
the end of
encumbrance.
that June
Especially when you
panic.
guys had to sign them all?
Yes.
Oh,
That's a big way of.
Yep. Okay, chairman's report, nothing to report.
Can we go back, please?
To what? Oh, the budget?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
after watching the meeting Monday night. If they make a change at 204, do we still have programs that are running there? And how will they be affected?
If they change their revolving fund, it doesn't affect us. We'll still have programs that run there. The only thing that would change is any money from any sliver of our program revenue that goes to the 204. They'd have to figure out where they're putting that money now.
We're a tenant there.
Yeah, we're just kind of a tenant, yeah, in-town tenant. So it wouldn't affect us, it wouldn't affect how we do things at all.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Anything else?
On the 204, if I may, John, is there work being done outside in terms of the playground area?
Let's get,
Maybe not the playground.
The field.
Van, I wanna try to stay agenda driven.
Okay. I'm
We can
sorry.
do that
I can answer
under,
that.
we can do that under new business.
Okay,
Okay.
gotcha.
Anything else on the budget report?
Nope.
Frank?
No, offset.
Okay. Chairman's report, I asked my questions splash pad rep.
Yep. Splash pad rep.
Remember he was gonna come
Yeah.
in and we talked about that in
Yep,
September?
I can get
And he
one.
was busy.
Yep,
I hope the hell he doesn't give us the same answer now,
yeah.
because we
Rep.
just lost the winter.
Under here?
I did it on the chairman's report,
Okay.
okay? Moving on to David, CPC committee, any updates?
Well, we passed all the recreational articles, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
There's a
And
butt coming.
the board has developed the reason they were apprehensive about the sales, but they passed it. And they want to give some time for the recreation department to see how the sales work out back. And maybe there can be a correction to whatever the base may be, if necessary. So they're willing to entertain that at some point,
Okay,
so that's a good thing.
that's a good, I think that was a good option.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, David, I'm sure you had. Anybody else, any questions for David on CPC?
We should then take a look at our 5-year plan, the potential list here that we have.
Yep, but we have,
And
okay,
cross those three out, cross, I think some of them are on that list, correct?
That's an agenda item.
we'll go to that next, Van.
Okay.
You're up,
Oh, okay.
facilities.
Frank Smith Ralph Smith has retired, left the commission. I think not the commission, the committee.
John, can I snap a picture of that?
They're doing some painting in some of the walls inside the building here. They've got a 25-year plan to try to enhance the building internally. So I think things are moving forward.
Looks nice.
Yeah, there are a lot of programs going on because it's the 25th anniversary of the construction of the facility. And they've got programs going on every night in terms of spaghetti dinners and pancake breakfasts and things for kids and so on and so forth. So they've been very active with that.
That's it,
That's it.
thank you. Moving on to the 5-year plan.
So I had sent out the compiled list of everything we mentioned.
Yep.
Big or small, whether it's a dome or a stadium or whatever we want.
I love
I put it all on there, so I don't know if we just want to kind of keep updating this and eventually prioritize. It's up to you guys.
Van, may I ask you were going to check with the superintendent regarding the dugouts.
Yes.
Any luck?
Yeah, we sent them a letter.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I crafted a letter with, and Eric and I emailed it to him.
okay,
And right now, they're in the process of building dugouts for their own facility up there for the tech school.
Okay.
And the letter indicated that we would not be doing anything until the fall, because, now we got programs going on and the activities are going on. So, well, hopefully I'll be hearing from Debbie Rose, who's in charge of the tech coordination up there. But Bob Mr. Sanborn did assure me that they would try to get something going with us.
can you
probably in the
please
fall.
pass that picture around
Yeah.
that you had in your?
This one here is what they do down at Florida, but we would, I'm gonna have my architect friend who's in our league redo that and make it comparable to what we think we need for our facility.
What's wrong with that?
Expensive.
That's cheaper than cinder block.
No, I'm not gonna do cinder block. It would be purely, the bottom portion would be a little wood, and then the rest would be that chain link.
That seemed, that looks
I feel like the wood
simple
would
as
be-
can be.
Yeah.
He's,
wood would
the
probably be
fellow that
rotten,
sent that up to
right?
me, John, is sending me the dimensions so that we get a sense of what the depth, the width, and the height, and so on. But that's, all of the dugouts down there in Florida are pretty much designed like that because of the open air.
Yeah, get breeze through.
I
Get a
would
lot
say
of breeze
the-
through it. And they're also
link
very
on the
deep,
ground.
very wide and deep and high, so that there's a lot of movement, capability with some of the bigger guys that use them, so.
Okay. So.
But that's in the works. Let me just indicate that
Thank you.
project is in the works. Hopefully, we'll hear from them prior to the fall season, see if they can get going and doing something for us.
Thank you very much. Is anybody prepared to do a priority list based on
Yes.
these?
Yes,
Are we prioritizing all of them?
I think
What's the wishes? Do you want to,
like a top 5, and then the rest can be out
Yeah,
of
down
order.
Yeah.
the road kind of
yep,
thing.
that's a good idea. So we'll start with Leah, top 5, please.
I know what that one is.
Yep,
All right, I'll do it this way. I'll take a tally. All
okay,
right.
perfect.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
And then are we ranking the 5 in order, 1 to 5?
Let's
Two?
get them,
Yeah.
let's get this, everybody's top 5.
Let's get the top 5 first,
And then
we'll
we'll
rank
vote
them.
for the rank,
Yeah,
yeah.
'cause that'll be-
Okay. Big surprise, splash pad,
Where is,
Yeah,
okay.
Like
There-
6
Splash
one for
pad.
Splash pad.
yep. Turf without the bubble would be,
Turf,
The third,
Well, I-
third from the bottom.
listen,
turf,
turf,
oh, okay, got
turf
it.
alone,
Okay.
I would say is a priority,
Which one is that?
The third one from the bottom.
yeah.
Multi-use
I'm
turf?
keeping
field?
a tally.
Multi-use,
so-
yeah, the multi-use turf. And then I had the basketball hoops
Okay.
What was
and
sorry.
that? What was that?
Basketball hoops?
New ones in the gym, that would be a tandem we'd have to bring up to Carolyn.
basketball hoops.
Oh, I got it, third one.
Yeah, third
Yep.
one, sorry, lost it. And then, where am I? Let me, none of that. The futsal,
The what, please?
futsal,
The police, the soccer
Where
inside
is
the
that?
hockey rink?
It's on here
that's,
That's
somewhere.
what I call it.
Oh, I see
Yeah.
it, yep. I got
yep.
it.
Which
And-
one is that?
2/3 of the way down. Area for Harwich Police.
We'll have to use numbers instead of bullet points
Yeah.
next time.
I know.
Make it like
Exactly.
number 7.
Yeah, I don't know why they numbered.
Yeah, because that's 8 up
Yeah,
from,
wait,
8
wait,
from
hold
the
on.
bottom.
Yeah, I'm
Eight from
trying
the
to,
bottom. Thank you.
go down. And then the, Brian, here you go, the lap pool. I would like it stated, I would only agree to that if it's Harwich only, Monomoy only.
What is that one, please?
Private club.
Yeah.
Lap pool.
No,
The lap pool?
Private swim?
yes.
Is that how Brewster does it? They have. I
They don't have a pool.
It's not.
Oh, they do
Yeah,
now.
they
with-
do.
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
and
With
it's
the new beach they
Brewster
do.
only.
Okay.
Brewster only.
So,
Right.
just,
Cannot get into that
just so
pool.
we don't, I don't know if we need like a section of like, because there's things we have to do, like the irrigation out back,
See, I
you know,
don't care about that.
but it's like,
But we could lose the field.
yeah.
No, I know.
Field, for turf
So,
fields.
yeah, if we lose that
Could
field,
replace
we
that.
can
And then,
replace it with a
and then
turf
the
and not do
irrigation for
irrigation
senior
at all.
memorial field, like those kind of things.
It's
Like,
just
they're not
saving
as
money.
like, as people
Hold
say,
on,
sexy
hold,
projects,
hold
but, you
on,
know.
Let's
please.
say one more time, CPC will not pay for a turf field. Will not pay.
So these could be
Can I
capital
talk to
or
Can I talk
CPC.
to them? Can I find out
No,
why? Oh, I can't
it's-
talk to them?
it's-
Of course you can.
Yes, I
Call,
can.
call Boston. Call Boston.
No,
No.
They
no.
will not do it. It will not happen.
Who
Yeah,
can
I
I?
remember this came up.
Yeah, I know, but I want to know why.
Because
I want to
there's-
know why.
There's been court fights and legislation.
Because somebody
That's
got
it.
burnt somewhere. Some CPC got burnt on a project, so everybody else pays for it. It's like people that don't pick up their dog poop. Nobody have dogs.
Good analogy. On a much smaller scale, but absolutely.
But
But
actually,
what
we could do
kind of
one
turf?
line.
What kind of turf? Because that's a questionable too. There's astroturf, there's water-based turf, there's sand turf.
AstroTurf isn't used much anymore.
Right.
Field
So
turf,
but that's what
yeah.
I'm wondering if
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah.
And if it's water-based turf, water-based is a cheaper installation and completely different material
Yep.
Go on the website. All the information you need is there.
on the
CPC.
CPC website. Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we got those 5.
Phyllis, you're up.
So, yeah, like, as Eric said, some of these things are sort of more important maintenance items, like the irrigation project and stuff.
Oh, that's a good
mean-
call. Maybe we should kind of.
Put it in two separate buckets.
Didn't mean to, yeah, make 2 different categories.
Yeah,
New projects versus,
Yeah.
and we don't need to settle this thing tonight.
Well, what if
Would
I-
you say we're gonna be here till midnight?
Yeah, that's
That's a good idea, maybe before we go on further.
right.
Do you want me to,
See ya.
what I could do is for the next meeting, I can kind of categorize them.
That,
Yeah, why don't
How
you
about
wait?
wants and needs?
yeah,
Yeah,
The
right,
need is irrigation.
right.
right,
In my opinion, the need is
Unless we do
is
anything
dugouts
Separate them in.
for senior softball to get them out of the sun. Obviously, the pool, the bubble, those are wants. Not that they're not as important, but there is a difference. We need to keep that straight. Let's go through this right now. What are you shaking?
Yeah, we need,
What's realistic and what isn't?
That's kind of the
It's common
one.
sense.
It's kind of the
You're not
ones.
gonna get a bubble, you're not gonna get a pool.
It's kind of
What's
the
the
ones.
Bubbles around.
Which are the
All right.
ones that we need to do?
Let's go number one.
To maintain what we have.
Irrigation out back. That is a need.
That's a need.
Yes,
Okay, I'm just gonna go N and W.
Yeah,
agreed.
Right.
White House Field bleacher replacement. That's a want, in my opinion.
100%.
and the Mariners want it.
Yeah, I have no.
I walked those bleachers the other day. I'm just gonna leave it. It's a want.
For the
Yeah,
price
yeah.
that it is, I would fight that.
Hoops
to
in the
end.
gym.
What is the price?
I think
That's
that's
a-
probably,
We don't have, we were quoted crazy money, million,
Million.
over a
Oh,
million
yeah, it was
bucks.
Million.
900 grand for 2 sets.
I thought it was over that. It was
Yeah.
over a million, right?
Yeah, it could be now, yeah.
It was wild.
Let's stay focused on categorizing, because we'll be here till midnight, as Brian said.
I'm ready to order pizza.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll pitch in.
Community center basketball hoops, is that a need, Eric?
I mean, they're not falling down. They're not gonna like break on us.
But is it going to be a need in the next couple of years?
I think so, don't you?
Do they still go
Yeah,
up
I'd
and
say
down?
within
or-
2 years makes
Yeah.
it
They
a
still
need.
work.
They still work, but we
Right?
have issues with them all the time.
Yeah.
All right,
Let's put that as a need
Yeah.
then.
yeah. Do we all agree that if it's within 2 years, that makes it a need?
Well, I would even add,
over
you
a
could do
want?
that, or the ones at the 204, because I
Yeah,
remember when I
that's true.
first started and Cara
Yeah.
gave me a walkthrough that they said, they've never been inspected.
Those don't even
Over,
move.
yeah, those
No.
ones don't move, and that could be something,
I'll put plus.
if
Keep
we
in
were
mind,
able to
we're
get
a
hoops.
tenant.
Correct, yes,
Yes.
yeah, I
Yeah.
totally get that too.
But we're a
But that could be
tenant here, too,
something,
kind of.
that could really help.
All right, for the town, yeah.
Go ahead, John.
That
I'm
could help
sorry.
some youth programs as well in the future, because that was one of the logistical things I had to work around. I can't do a first and second grade over at the 204 because the hoops don't go down. So
Okay.
Okay.
something to keep in mind.
All right,
point.
ropes course, that is definitely a want.
Yep.
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but splash pad is a want. Sorry. Multi-area
Join
for,
for one reason. No, I'm just kidding.
multi-use area for roller hockey, that's a want.
Do you guys want a president next year? I mean, a chair next year?
Potter, easy. Potter Field irrigation system
That's
replacement.
gonna be a need.
That's like a need.
Same with the next one.
Same with,
with.
same with the next one. The
they all?
third, pickleball courts is a want.
That's what Frank thinks, though.
New dugouts at Potter, I think that's a need, personally.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
do too.
okay.
Those
I think
those
that's a want.
dugouts. No, those dugouts are shot. Have you
Yeah.
seen
No,
those
there
things?
aren't any. We're talking the ones that don't.
Oh,
they
I
don't
thought
have-
you were talking about.
You're talking about the field where they just put the fence on, right?
No, Potter.
Senior or Potter?
Potterfield.
Potter has the concrete ones.
Why
that-
why are we doing those over?
They're all cracked and
Not only that, but
Is it
there's no
a
ventilation in
want
those.
or a
yeah.
need?
That's a
It's
want.
terrible.
That's a want.
All right.
I thought we were putting, I didn't realize, I thought it was the backfield, because the backfield doesn't have covered
Senior
dugouts.
softball.
no, it
does.
just has benches behind the
The-
fence.
So that's what I thought we were
The,
talking.
no, senior memorial.
Yeah.
Field.
Oh, okay.
All right, so I would,
Need
my own
trees
opinion
back
is,
there.
Yeah.
are we,
So we're going to want.
so that's a want.
Want.
Area for Harwich Police Department futsal.
It's a want.
Yeah.
That's one of the ones I might put want versus need. It's not a need, but they have the
They got the unit already.
they have the unit through CPC.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
And they
Um,
use the 204 too, still, right? For
Yeah,
in
yeah.
the winter?
In the
Yep.
winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Okay.
they have space.
They'll be okay.
Right.
If it doesn't happen right away.
Yeah.
Maintenance at Long Pond, that's a want.
Yeah. 'Cause-
Same thing at Sand Pond.
Yeah.
Same with, sorry, David, same with Sand Pond Boathouse. You could argue on one half that's a need. If it was a need, I think highway would have it down already.
Yeah.
That's what, we had this argument 3 years ago when we wanted to get the playground there. And that was a top priority amongst,
Mr. Chairman,
yes, sir.
can I have requests to make that request?
If it's gonna be made,
To tear
it'll
it
be made
down?
by the,
It costs a lot.
the
to tear it
director. No, it's,
To level it?
down. Yeah.
I don't believe it does.
That's what I was
Brooks Tennis Backboard, that in my opinion is a want.
thinking.
I will argue that's a need.
Okay, you can argue that. When the time comes, you can argue that.
Yeah.
I looked at it,
I'll make up a new list and then we
Yeah.
can always
this is a great,
revamp
Yeah.
it again.
this is a great
Starting
exercise, because it's gonna, instead of looking at this going, oh my lord.
Yeah.
Short
Multi,
fields,
turf is a want.
Yeah.
Bubble is a want, and
I was
unfortunately,
gonna put
argue
EN for
that
extreme need on
because
the bubble.
we could replace irrigation. How much do we spend on irrigation?
What do you mean?
Like
On
just
the-
in general with repairs and
That'd
water?
be, I don't know,
and-
highway
We
does
just
most of that.
rescinded the irrigation to the backfields.
the 35 for the
Yeah,
electric.
Right.
that was for the electrical, yeah.
Well, that's rescinding the irrigation.
I
see what
couldn't
you're
even
saying.
garner a guess. Is it
But-
$1 million to put turf back there?
Oh,
Ask
yeah.
Garmin, they just did two.
Yeah, no.
And I think
No.
that you're
Can't
gonna
be.
get left.
I thought it was $1 million just to do the turf field at the high school. And that's a smaller area.
That's a good,
That's a comp.
that's
That was
a
years
fairly,
ago, too.
how old is that high school?
4 or
No,
5 years.
$750,000.
7 or 8 years?
7 or 8,
So
yeah,
if it
'cause
was 750 8
Yeah.
years
Go on
ago, it's well over
750.
$1 million.
Okay.
Right.
So you're
Don't,
talking
don't
about-
argue with that, but we have to be realistic.
Right.
Maybe there ought to be wants, needs,
Yeah.
and David's big R.
Listen, I don't know.
And that out
No
back,
mowing,
that's
no
550
labor.
feet long by 330 wide. And that turf field at the school is, you know, you got a 100-yard
100
football
yard,
field.
yeah.
Yeah, that way. 100-yard football field plus the little
Yeah.
extra on the outside.
Are you
So
confident with that 750 number, Van?
That's what I heard.
I
Okay.
bet 1.5 for out back.
Out back,
That would be
To
my-
do the whole, that's.
the whole
the
thing.
whole
turf,
thing?
Yeah.
Oh, back where?
Right, no.
here.
Yeah,
500 by
back.
300 or whatever, you know, roughly.
About my feet.
And that would not be a lot, that's not a CPC use, so that would have to come out of capital.
Unless we storm the State House and change that rule. 'Cause that does seem.
Absolutely.
She's gonna get that rule
I
changed.
don't get it.
My vice
Absolutely.
chair over here to my right.
I'm,
I don't get
I'm
that either.
already
It doesn't make
planning my
sense.
email.
Yeah.
So if I'm looking at this correctly, and if there's something that's, somebody thinks they wanna try to sway one way or the other, let me know. Veterans Memorial Complex irrigation is a need. Bleachers are a want. Basketball hoops are a need. Ropes course parking lot is a want. Splash pad project is a want.
I'd like to change that,
The splash
one?
pad?
the splash pad to a need.
Thank
How is
you.
that a
We've been
need?
waiting over 2 years.
That doesn't make it a
That
need.
keeps kicking it to the bottom of the agenda.
How are you classifying wants and needs? Something that has to be done to keep the fields going, something that's a safety issue, or something that's a luxury?
Something that's a luxury. Something
So a
that's
luxury is a need?
Something that would provide the programming of the recreation department a considerable boost in the summertime to their summer programs.
No, I wouldn't say we need
I
it for our
agree.
summer programs.
I'm in favor of it, but I still call it a want. That's
It's
just,
up to the board, I just express my opinion.
if you were doing something, if you were doing a pool at your house or a roof,
Yeah.
Cool.
I could put buckets out for the
I
roofs.
love the honesty, Leah.
My husband is watching this right now. Stop it.
He's tearing his hair out right
100% knows it's true too, though. So,
We got a top on the roof, but we got a beautiful pool.
yes, yes.
That was good. All right.
Oh,
So I'm gonna circle that one as a
question.
debatable.
Strong want.
Multi hockey rink want, irrigation at Potter need, memorial irrigation need, pickleball courts want, new dugouts at Potter. I had it as an N, then it was changed to a W, but that's the front thing because there's already dugouts there.
I think that's one of the debatable ones.
Is that a circle too?
kind of like, yeah,
Okay.
like
Yeah.
splash pad?
Yeah, I'm circling the ones that
Yeah, that
it
makes
seems
sense.
like there's not a close to a
Consensus,
unanimous
yeah.
consensus. Parking lot at Long Pond, that's a W because highway does what they can there.
Yeah, yeah. there's only-
Your Long Pond, what they do is what you're gonna
and
get
it's on the
there.
marsh too. so-
Yeah, I mean, you know what we went
Can't
through to
pave
get
it.
the septic in there,
Oh,
never mind.
God. Do that.
Sand Pond, same thing. Raising of Sand Pond Boathouse. I have that, we had that as a W. Do you wanna debate that one further?
I'm up to the,
I think it would be a need if if somebody came to us and said, this is a huge safety issue.
What is
But
it
the-
made out of?
Stick built.
Stick built, yeah.
The fire department burn it as training.
No, they don't allow that.
They don't allow that anymore, but that's a great question.
Yes, it
Oh, wait, I
was.
just saw them do that
On
in
the-
Dennis.
What's that?
They just did it to a house in Dennis.
Not a controlled burn.
Yeah,
Yeah, they did.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, recently,
I
maybe a
just
month or
read
so
it.
ago, yeah.
They
Well,
will-
There's way too much forest around.
I thought it was,
Yeah.
plus the
Yeah,
water.
it's actual option.
Plus the water.
Oh,
Yeah.
I just
Water
read
right
it.
nearby.
Yeah.
There must be a hydrant somewhere.
You can
I
get
meant the
more
stuff
water.
going in the water.
Oh,
I didn't think,
In the air.
the state, I didn't
Yeah,
think
they
they
did just do
were.
a house in Dennis.
Yeah.
really? I'm
Yeah.
surprised they would
Yeah.
do that.
But like
It's
I said-
insulation and
But yeah,
Yeah.
okay, forest is a problem.
maybe they stripped
Right.
it first.
When we had that in the article for Sand Pond, I did have it looked at by building, and they said it's structurally sound. That was,
Okay.
you know, years ago now, so I don't know, but how much.
I do remember that.
Maybe
But I
someone
also
wants
remember
it.
somebody from the Board of
Like
Selectmen, I
someone
can't
would
remember
take it
who,
away.
saying that
Takes it
needs
away.
to go.
Well, you know,
Then it
I
would
mean,
definitely
people
fall
move
apart.
buildings all the
Yeah.
time.
Raccoons and all.
Structurally
yeah.
sound makes it a want.
Put it on Facebook Marketplace.
I think it's a
Someone
want
Somebody
for now.
will take that.
So, Brooks Tennis
No, it's
Backboard,
true. It's true.
I have as a
Housing
want.
for 'em. Yep.
Is it structurally sound?
Oh,
I
absolutely.
Well,
think
then
so.
there you
Yeah, it's not falling over.
Multi-use turf field construction, I have as a want. Turf field bubble is a want, and pool is a want. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 definitive needs.
And then we can add splash pad. There's our top 5.
Or
No, no.
dugouts.
Why don't we put the pool in the bubble? I mean, really.
Put the pool in a what?
Well, we've got these wands.
If
We
we
might
get
as
a
well
bubble,
put
the
the
things are
pool,
going
a
really
pool and a
fast.
bubble, then you got a year-round pool.
Yeah.
And a turf field.
I mean, think it big, right?
Frank, what do you got, buddy?
Yeah, I go with all the needs, and I would put soccer up there. We have no idea on what a splash pads are gonna cost, so I'm kinda bolting up on that one.
The soccer's kind of a tough one because it's basically
Well, I have no idea what the soccer would cost either.
it's finding a spot for it, really.
I
Futsal.
spoke to somebody about doing it out at the very end of that dirt parking lot.
Yeah.
But I was told that the, across the street isn't dead in the water.
Yeah,
Oh.
and I think that's what I was told.
Shoot the messenger.
That it wasn't happening right now, but it could still happen.
When I was at the state recreation conference this past week, that was actually something most places hadn't, you know, because it's every town in the entire state. But a lot of places were envious of us having that
The
futsal.
futsal?
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool
Having the
thing to have.
futsal,
And it's a shame it doesn't have a place to live.
Well, so their idea was that it would move around, right? If I
And
remember
that-
Oh,
correctly.
they would like a permanent spot for
They
it.
wanted a
Right.
permanent spot.
But you're right.
I know the
initially they
204 is
did.
not ours, but there's a nice field back there it could go on. Because it's not being used for anything else.
It's gotta
Well,
be
we
blacktop
parking.
or cement, so
Yeah.
that would be
We're
a,
using it for
right,
softball.
turf, yeah.
They're actually Highway is just sprucing up those fields a little bit, so we could have our softball practices back there.
really?
Oh, they
Where
are.
we use it.
Yeah.
Not for games,
Right.
but just practice. Yeah. Just to have another spot.
that may be the one thing that I wasn't here at the last meeting when
To add
we
on
made
the
the list. Would be me and Eric had kind of talked about it, about using maybe Kroll if they were ever to redo that infield to make it all dirt. Just because what we've seen, especially when we've taken our fields online this past year, is just kind of having not another softball field, but a more multi-use. Because with all of the bookings we take now for both senior softball and all of the annual events, that could be having an additional multi-use where we could do either T-ball or like our farm league on that, kind of adding it. It kind of adds it almost adds another facility to us. Because for me, I couldn't use Kroll, right? I wouldn't want to. We did it a little bit last year. It doesn't work well for T-ball because you hit the ball and it dies in the grass. Yeah. And then of course we've had a lot of scheduling conflicts back and forth a little bit with senior softball as well as some of the other annual events, and that's why we look to use the 204 to use for our girls softball practice. So
One of the things they got,
Is it suitable for softball practice?
it's suitable for practice. Yeah,
For
you could still field grounders. I mean, the outfield isn't fantastic, but we can certainly
Making
make
sure
it
we're
work.
not shoving the girls over.
The
why
the
the
bases
girls?
Right.
Yeah.
That's the first
Yeah.
thing I think of.
Yeah.
the pass themselves are the base.
The pass themselves, okay, so the pass themselves, used to go down about 2 to 3 inches below the rest of the surface. So what I'm asking you is, have they improved that? Have they raised?
No, I think
those
they've
paths?
taken them out altogether. The bases that were there, they've taken them out,
They're
and we
gone.
can we'll just put down rubber
So
ones.
there are no base paths around?
Correct.
Gone.
Have you looked at Brooks Park lately? That's the same exact thing that they have at Brooks Park Field. You know, the grass is just growing up so much and the dirt's going away and you've gotta,
That's why we need to do it.
that's why we do, that's right,
Why
that's
don't
right.
they,
The only
John,
thing
why
that
don't
worries
the
me
highway
with the
department
204
pull out
is
all
it's
the,
still unclear
the
who
clay that's at
owns
Kroll
what.
and put in stone dust like
You
all
know?
the other fields. There's no maintenance to that at all. All you do is drag it and put your bases down and kids can play on the stone dust.
I just submitted another.
I thought we did that years ago.
We did that at Bassett. We took all the grass out of Bassett.
I don't want
put it
senior
in stone dust.
softball think we're doing it for them, because they will. They will. They'll want to book that.
Now, T-ball is played on a regular field these days? Like a regular diamond?
Yeah.
I did
Oh, yeah.
when I was a kid.
So,
They
yeah.
always had the fields that they could just move the bases.
Yeah,
you
that's
could move
right.
the
I
bases
know
back,
I'm
and
old,
they were played on real
but our
basketball.
T-ball was in front of the old high school
That's
We used to-
on the
no,
grass.
that's
You're right,
Exactly
we
right.
used to do it just
Yeah,
on
there
the
was no
grass,
diamond, it
but
was
we're trying
grass.
to,
Well, now we're on the diamonds.
Yes,
yeah, we
that's
try
why I
to,
was
we
asking
try to
the
do the
question.
diamonds now. We used to do the grass though, you're right, you're right.
And T-ball is by far the funniest kids sport in the world.
100%. 100%.
Both teams go to the ball.
Yep. Nobody goes at where they're
It's
supposed
one of
to
my
go.
fondest memories watching my
Every
first
kid
T-ball
goes to the
thing with
ball,
Mike
come
Trudeau,
back.
going, oh my good Lord in heaven, how do you teach this?
Watching the kids play
You just
soccer
let
when
them
they
go.
stop and pick up the
Yep.
dandelions in the middle of the game.
All right.
Practice.
Back to, so do we want to put, what's the consensus on splash pad? Right now, it's a W. Do we have a consensus to put that as a need?
If there's room for it.
If
I
we're
think it's
doing
a
top
W.
5 and there's only 4 Ws, I 100% think we should add that as the 5th
Needs.
need. Yeah, as the 5th need.
No,
I don't agree.
Do not.
I
You're a
honestly, I
splash
don't want
pad.
to make enemies
Yes.
here, but I honestly don't think we need a splash pad. I am against the splash pad.
I will second that as
I
far
think
as
there are
the
so many
operational
issues with the
effectiveness.
splash pad.
Okay, so one at a time. Why, I'll go with Eric first as the director.
I
Why?
think there's all kinds of maintenance issues. There's
Oh.
Dave,
no, there's no maintenance on the
let's,
splash
Dave,
pad.
could we please, that's why we
I
need
can
to.
answer that question if you wanted the
I
answer right now.
don't, right, I don't. I want a rep in here that can talk to us and tell us exactly. I
Okay,
want to hear.
but I can also reference Yarmouth that was just built, that I had a discussion with the assistant director of the DPW about a splash pad in Yarmouth. There is virtually no maintenance to that splash pad because it's brand new. And the only maintenance they have is they sweep it out twice a year in the beginning of the season,
Yep.
end of the season, and they blow it out for the season.
I just don't
That's
think.
it.
Okay.
That's.
I will
perfect.
respectfully disagree
I
with
have
that.
that on my phone, I can provide that to you.
There has got to be a daily maintenance. There's kids in there, people in there with sunscreen and God knows what. There's
If
gotta
they're
be something to
paying-
do
that's
other
what
than
they-
empty it and fill
That's
it.
what the service of the unit that's put in the ground, that takes care of, supplies the water. That's what the filtering system's all about.
Do you leave your pool in the backyard, open it in April and close it in November and not do a thing to it?
I don't have a pool.
There's water.
Can't answer
Do you?
that question.
I don't know, we pay a guy.
But there is water.
You have got the answers tonight.
You go, girl.
I just
All
don't
right,
think
so let's
there's a
go-
call for it. We took a survey on it, and it was overwhelmingly that we don't need it. You guys asked for the survey.
Can I say something though? I would like to redo that survey because it was very one-sided. No offense to people over a certain age
Yeah.
in our town. It was all, what's a splash pad? Why do we need water? Like, they didn't understand the concept of it, where if it was under that age group, it was all for it. So I think if we had a better town view of what it is and what it's for and what we could do, what it could do for the town,
Yeah.
the poll would show differently.
The problem right now is we haven't talked to a rep and we don't have any idea on cost or size.
Or location.
We are going blind. We have been for 2 years.
Relocation.
Well, it's about time for that to end.
And I'm not disagreeing with that, but I have said from the beginning, I, for one, am not supporting anything without talking to a rep first and getting some facts. I trust your,
Chairman, make it happen.
You make it happen. Call a rep, Dave.
Eric, we've been asking you, we've been
But I'm
asking,
against it, so you guys do it.
so you're against it, so you're not gonna do what we ask you?
I don't have to do what you ask me.
Okay.
You're my commission. You're not my boss. Joe is my boss.
I'll talk to the town administrator.
In terms of that survey, I think the reason why it was skewed the way it is because the old folks all feel that we have beaches down there, that was the paramount criticism to the whole splash pad concept, because we are a community of beaches and resorts and so on and so forth. Why do we need, that came out in the survey, basically. I just want to share that
Yeah.
from what I read.
No, I understand that the beach is also, if we wanna look at it from a full dynamic, the beaches cost money, regardless if you're a visitor or a resident. Not everybody can afford that. If you look at just our economic area of Harwich Elementary, it's about 38% is poverty level. Not everybody's paying to go to the beach.
Wow.
It's, yep, free reduced lunches, all those sorts
That's
of things.
eye-opening.
Chatham's more.
Are you serious?
Yep.
38%?
What?
Chatham's more. So you
Still
looking
there,
at-
Frank.
So it's
Yeah,
a wonderful
Frog.
resource for the community, for visitors, for residents that
Pond.
live here.
Keep-
Yeah, Boston
Frog
Frog,
Pond.
there
It's
you
the
go.
Frog Pond of the Boston Commons.
Yep,
The same thing.
perfect.
It's a safe
Yep,
area too.
Exactly.
There aren't a lot of swim lessons, so not a lot of kids know how to swim
Right.
anymore.
Exactly.
So it is a safe area.
Yep. So, and it's just another option in an area that we don't have many options for young families. We really don't. We have the beach, the park, bowling. You know what I mean? Unless we're doing rec programs, but on a day-to-day basis where it's like, oh, I'm doing a rec program on Wednesday and, maybe we can afford the beach after, or we can go for free after 4. This
Get dropped off too.
maybe, I mean, if I'm a family that can't afford
Yeah,
it
you're
and
not getting-
my
you're not
husband's at
dropped
work and he's gonna drop me off and I'm stuck at the beach for 6 hours with my kids, no thank you. You know what I mean?
Well, what's a beach sticker? $30.
Yeah,
right?
for
Yeah.
the whole summer.
Still, just another option though, out there. You know what I mean? A free option for families is a
Okay,
great
but let's
thing
play
to
the
offer.
devil's advocate on that.
Nobody's
we
not
had a-
getting a beach sticker because we have a splash pad, if that's what you're gonna say.
Oh, I don't care
Yeah,
about
yeah.
that, but I'm thinking, if someone can't go to the beach because they can't afford the beach sticker, we have a scholarship program for everything in the rec department,
Exactly.
where we help out.
Do we have beach sticker scholarships?
We don't, but could you,
We used
if
to,
a family
years ago, we used to
came,
give out a lot of scholarships.
well, that was aid to programs, that was back in the old
They used
days.
to be free.
That wouldn't be up to us either. If there was a beach sticker scholarship or anything.
That would have to go
That
to Woodstock. Yeah, you're right.
Treasurer's office.
Right.
administration.
And that was just because you said, I just can't fathom $30, but, yeah, I understand.
No. I mean, I just,
All right, so what do we want this on, is a W or an N?
Well, can we go around and give us reasons why?
Yeah.
How-
Leah?
Phyllis, you
We
those
know
were mine,
Leah's
yeah,
reasons.
those are mine.
We don't know the cost, we don't know the
Yeah.
maintenance, the one in Yarmouth is fairly new, it'd be good to find out from people who've had it for a while, what's actually happened. The sales rep is gonna paint the best picture possible, get a really glossy, shiny brochure with lots of wonderful, nice pictures. I just would need,
Well, that's true.
Can I
I need
comment on
way
that?
more information, way more, before I would ever.
But don't you think that the assistant director of the DPW in Yarmouth, the information she provided me, I will send to you that email?
And how long has it been there, the splash pad?
This is the 3rd year, I
Yeah.
think.
They're
Are you better
here,
off
yeah.
talking to Mash, doesn't Mashpee have one?
Yes.
And they've had one for a while, I believe.
Wareham's too.
Who?
Wareham's had one for a long time too.
I mean, if you're looking for something that's been up, that's,
Yeah.
See what kind of maintenance there is this far into it.
Right, and off camp
Yes.
too. I mean,
Yeah.
it can't be that simple. I just, after a few years,
Again, I'll send you that
There's a
email,
tank,
just the information
yeah,
that
I know, I
researched. That's
believe
all.
that.
That's
But I'm
all.
just, long-term, stuff has to be
In fact,
replaced.
I have my phone in my car right now. Would you like me to go get it and you go read it?
And I'm concerned, so when we have, water issues where we can't water our lawns, are you still gonna run the splash pad? Cause it's evaporating all the time. People
Well,
are
I mean, if there
leaving
was,
out
if
their
there was a
water.
water
That's
ban,
going
there's a
on
water
the
ban.
extreme
We
if
just
there's
don't.
water conditions. I hear
We've had it
that
every
with
year.
CPC and
Mr. Chair.
conservation all the time.
Those
So-
are just my opinions.
Those are, that's right,
Absolutely.
just
Yeah.
like Leah had
They're
hers.
fair, they're fair.
You all set, Phyllis?
Yes.
Van.
I'm in the middle of this whole process because I wanna be able to see where we're going with the splash pad in terms of the cost factor, in terms of the maintenance factor. It's not that I'm opposed to it. I want, before I cast a vote, I wanna make sure that we have everything that we need to have available to us to make some clear-cut, intelligent decisions, because once you put it in, it's there for life and for a long period of time. And we want to make sure we're doing the right thing by our expenditures and by the cost factors and by the maintenance issues. Is it going to be supervision? Is there a need?
Are you
for
trying to tell me
No.
it's gonna outlast us?
No.
That doesn't take
I
much.
just
Little
wanna-
levity there?
Yeah, little levity. I just want to make sure that what we do with a degree of intelligence and smarts about this. It's not just a matter of putting it across the street or down at Brooks Park or behind here. It's doing something that is going to be accepted by the community because it's going to be something that we hope the community will support and use as far as the rec department. We've got a great reputation in terms of our CPC monies and how it's been spent over the last many, many years that I can remember. I don't think we've ever been refused on any project in this community in the last maybe one.
I can't remember what it was, but they didn't have enough info
Yeah.
to vote it. I
But I
forget
want to
which.
be able to make sure that what we submit for CPC funding is done with a great deal of intelligence and smarts in terms of how we approach these projects, because otherwise we're gonna look like a bunch of,
I agree.
Yeah.
But that's not a yes or no vote, that's we need more
just more
info.
info.
Can I just say,
And I also talked with somebody over at
me go
Dartmouth,
around.
as
Yeah.
a matter of fact, and the fellow that I talked with is a member of the league who was the administrator of CPC for the town of Yarmouth. And he said, "Man, it is a very expensive undertaking, okay? It's not just, 500,000 or whatever, it's very, very expensive." So we have to look at all of that.
Of course we do.
And I think that before we make a final determination, let's look at every piece and every, like you said, there's some people who come in and give you a sales job, but we want to make sure we understand fully what we're getting into.
Putting an N or a W next to it doesn't say we support it. It just
absolutely.
means we're gonna go to the next step,
Right.
Understood.
okay? You all set, Van?
I'm
David?
all set.
Brian?
Thank you.
I mean, I think you know where I fall. Strong W or N if there's room for it. If there's not room for it, then just keep it as a strong W.
Room as in physical room,
Yes,
space?
Physical room for the top, yeah, if we're doing a top 5, yeah. If you want me to give reasons, I can list them now, or can wait until next time.
Whatever you want, it's up to you.
I think, again, it's a safe place for people to go, that kids don't know how to swim. The ocean is dangerous, obviously, there's waves, we love the beach, yeah, we have a ton of beaches. We have a ton of lakes and ponds, but the supervision, it's parental supervision only. You can't drown there. You just get wet. It could be used in the summer rec programs. It could be the price. I don't think I've ever heard $500,000. I think we saw like less than 200.
yeah,
Well, it depends on the size and everything.
Oh,
Yeah,
absolutely.
size dependent, obviously.
Yeah.
Sure, there's an A, a B, and a C model.
And I love the information you got. I don't know how you got that, but great. And maybe it's worth talking to Mashpee because they've had it longer, or Wareham because they've had it longer. What's it look like now, 10 years out?
Okay.
That's all.
Leah, you had your hand up for, sorry,
Well,
Phyllis.
I'm just saying, I could not agree more with Phyllis and Van that we do need all the information and we do need to make informed decisions. I don't think we should say, as much as I would love to say get it and do it and then it's in there by June, obviously that's not going to happen. I think that by making it a need or a priority piece, it at least then pushes us into that next level of getting all that information. And who knows, maybe we get all the information, we say, hey, it is out of budget, it is over maintenance, it's not worth it, and then the splash pad discussion can just disappear.
Yeah.
I think we're kind of over having the discussion of are we going to do it or not going to do it. I think we're at the point where we know who wants it, who doesn't want it, and that's fine for all the different reasons. but we need to get the final answers on it. So that's why I feel like making it a need or a necessity project gets us to that next level where we can either move forward or squash it. Because we may be surprised on one side or
We're
the
not making a
other.
commitment, we just wanna.
No,
Right, that's what I mean.
we're not making a commitment to anything on this.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
I mean, we're
Yeah.
So
in
Eric's
discussion
down the
too.
road for,
Right.
A year and a half.
Right.
All right, so Eric's gonna put a list together, I guess, with the N's and the W's?
Yeah, I could try.
John,
And
can
get-
I add?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
John, I'm sorry, I meant to.
I definitely like the idea for the premise of affordable day-to-day activities for youth. Because like it said, it's like the park. It's not something that has to run on a schedule. However, I think it's important to understand, do we want to continue to expand versus maintaining what we have? And I'm speaking in terms of how much like our current staff, just myself, Eric, and Elaine can handle. Like, it may not be what we, day-to-day maintenance, but it is another thing. Like, we take phone calls on pickleball. We take phone calls of things that happen at the playground. Like, is there going to be something that goes on, at the splash pad that requires one of us to, end a dispute? But more so, like I said, we want to maybe maintain what we have. Like, I pivoted to focus with the fields. Like, if we are able to add another field that's more multi-use or replace the basketball hoops, either in this building or at the 204, that would have, there's no question in my mind, that would have an immediate impact in our ability to add programs. And as far as the splash pad is for the summer programs, we, many other towns do like a water day. It's something we did as well, as far as like we bought a kiddie pool and a slip and slide and a couple of hose attachments that you can do. So of course it's not going to be the full scale of a splash pad, but there's at least, the possibility to add that. And that's something we've done in camp, but there's, we could add that to be once or twice a summer. We kind of get everything out on the big back lawn. But yeah, I just wanted to add that.
Okay, thank you for your input. All right, so that's, Eric's gonna go to the next step and just get that reorganized.
Yep,
Okay?
no problem.
Frank, yep,
Yeah, I'm mimic,
you're what?
I'm mimic, previous speakers on the splash pad. I like the idea, but we need a lot more information.
Yep.
But I'd like, the soccer platform. I think that'd be an easy thing. I think the demand is there. Eric would have to see the correct statement or not. We got a spot for it. We could put it right in Brooks Park, just beyond the bathrooms, opposite the tennis courts. There's a piece of land there. And from what I've seen, it doesn't take up a lot of room.
For the futsal, you mean?
And the walking path?
You got a bathroom there, you got parking, and you put it right on the backside of the poles there, and you can do it in the evening.
Frank, can you please clarify? I have no idea where you're talking. So you go in, the bathroom's on the left, the pavilion,
Yeah.
the bathroom, and then what?
There's an expanse there.
Little piece of land, John.
You mean up on top of the hill?
Well, it's not that much.
I don't know if that's
but
big enough.
Where they
Oh,
took the hill away and the
Well,
trees, like
We have a
between the,
lot at Brooks Park. I mean, I'm sure we could find a spot for it.
This thing's big, Frank.
What's that?
This is big, very large.
Yeah, it's big.
We have the property that's
Oh,
beyond the
I thought you were
pickleball
talking
courts.
about that soccer that they do, at the parking lot at the rec center.
Yeah, we are, but I don't know what the dimensions are, but
It's big.
I don't,
Tight.
Takes up
I'm,
more than half.
other than the elevated area between the guardrail
Right.
and the bike trail at Brooks Park, beyond the bathroom, that's the only place I'm thinking, and I don't think that's a good idea because that parking lot, and you guys can correct me, you're there a lot more than I am, that parking lot is full a lot now.
in the summer, packed.
So I still believe
Would you
that
not want it-
entertaining that back corner, that lot is used, town meeting,
Would you not want a dedicated space for this so that we don't interfere with the pickleball people or anybody else?
Well,
If there's a piece of land around that's purely set aside for a splash pad, where parents.
oh, no, we're not
No,
talking splash
futsal.
pad,
No.
we're on to the futsal.
But
Oh,
Brooks
I'm
Park
sorry.
doesn't belong to pickleball, so futsal could go there.
Where are we talking now?
What doesn't
Behind,
belong to, what?
they said Brooks Park doesn't belong to
No,
just
pickleball.
pickleball.
So that
I
parking
don't think
lot's
there's
for
a
everybody.
place big enough.
I think it's a matter of patience and waiting to see what happens with that property across the street too. I don't know if that's something that's gonna happen or not.
That's my thought, I mean,
Yeah.
and we see, you'll see.
That'd be a perfect spot for it, but it's just a big
Perfect.
if,
Right.
it's a big
No,
if.
that is-
Hold on one second, Frank, Van,
Okay.
what's your name?
Louis,
David,
hoop
What's my sugar doing?
beyond pickleball, beyond the newest pickleball court, where the old water tower used to be.
There's land all the way
That
back.
property belongs to the CPC, belongs to the rec department. So they've already cleared out a good section of that when they built the pickleball courts. So it could go back there, that parking lot can be extended in the
Absolutely,
same area. It would be perfect.
absolutely.
This may sound stupid, what about the hollow?
Oh,
What do you-
fill
what
it
do you-
all
ADA, ADA.
You can't get
Fill
down
it?
there.
Put
Yeah.
some stairs going down.
Oh, you
Can't
need
do
to have,
stairs.
You need to have ADA accessible, which would mean
Several
switchbacks.
We have a
Right.
truck.
Switchbacks.
A mile long.
But anyway, that
Yeah, all
property,
right, it's just, I mean, it doesn't appear to be on a top priority because I haven't heard a thing about it. My guess is they're
Okay.
gonna put it back out there.
For this
This
summer,
summer.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'm assuming, yeah.
Okay. Anything else on that?
Oh,
Nothing, nothing there. Our next meeting is scheduled for April 22nd. Town meeting is May 5th and 6th. I will be out of town. We have a wedding away that weekend. I'll be away at least the 5th. I don't know about the 6th.
John,
Hopefully
you
not the
just
7th.
unavailable.
What's the 7th?
No, I'm saying hopefully it doesn't go to 3 days.
Oh, Jesus. What's that, David? Oh,
You're
yeah.
unavailable, Joe.
Yes, I get that. Anything else? Hearing none?
Make a motion.
Second.
Motion to adjourn? All those in favor?
Aye.
All those opposed, stay.
All right, Frank, see you later.
Bye, Frank.
Well before midnight, Brian.
The pizza was on its way.
You said I'd be home early to see my baby.
Just wanna make games.
No, nothing. No Celtics, no nothing tonight.
Bye, John. Bye, guys. See you guys later. Bye, Erin.
Bye.